Well, clearly my role as the presiding bishop of the Evangelical Lutheran Church in America, we have this connection with the Jubilee here. And in our country, Lutherans have come from all over the world. And so to come here in Wittenberg and for the Jubilee and to see the international presence is also a very good connection. Certainly the church can't be a museum, and the Reformation cannot simply be history. And we see that, you have a map here in the global south where the Lutheran movement is growing because they believe in this message of grace, and it set them free to serve others. So for example, in Ethiopia, the families of those who are imprisoned have to take care of their sanitary needs and also their food. But the Lutheran Church, saying, we're free by God's grace, said, let us dig your latrines and let us provide you food and water. So that's where we can see the Reformation taking new life and not just being an historical event. Well, I think we can look to some famous people you have on the walls around here. Lema Mboi from Liberia helped to stop the Liberian Civil War. She trusted in God, and also she is one tough woman. So she's a reformer. That's a good question. So what message should this Jubilee from Wittenberg, where it started, and also from Germany and Europe, send to the rest of the world? And I was here last year for the Lutheran World Federation's council meeting, and we were in the Castle Church, and the man who was the presiding bishop of the Lutheran Church in Malaysia was preaching. So to see him in the space where Luther was, to see this is a worldwide movement and not simply Eurocentric, it's a worldwide movement and still speaks to people of all cultures and contexts. That's the message that Wittenberg can send. Well, people aren't always sure who Martin Luther is, and when I would teach the catechism to students, I would ask them, Martin Luther, dead white guy or dead black guy? And they would get it wrong half the time, thinking it was Martin Luther King Jr. But not everybody knows about Martin Luther. And I would say, whatever country, every culture or context in some ways appropriates or hijacks Luther for its own purposes. So we have to be careful that Luther doesn't become American, but Americans might understand this message of grace.